There's this new kind of artificial intelligence that's finally cracking one of the oldest, most frustrating problems in finance. It's a pretty cool story about turning just chaotic data into a crystal clear narrative. And it all starts with a surprisingly simple question.
All right, so what is this incredibly tough question? I bet it's not what you're thinking. It's not about, predicting the next market crash or trying to find the perfect stock. Nope, it's something way more fundamental, something finance teams wrestle with every single month.
And there it is. Looks pretty simple, right? But trust me, for companies with really complex revenue streams, like lease financing, this question is an absolute nightmare to answer with any real accuracy. So let's break down why that is, and then we'll see how AI finally gives us the solution.
Okay, so let's dig into this. Why is this one question stumped finance professionals for decades, even with all the powerful tools they've had at their disposal?
The thing is, the complexity isn't just one thing. It's everything happening all at once. You've got a constant churn of customers coming and going. Payments aren't neat and tidy. They're totally irregular. Then, bam, you get these huge events like early terminations or a big wave of new leases that completely distort the underlying trends. And on top of all that, you have these smaller things like fluctuating interest rates or even just the number of days in a month creating constant noise. It's a perfect storm of interacting variables.
And yeah, that storm is precisely why the traditional tool of choice, the trusty spreadsheet, just can't keep up anymore. The complexity of modern financial data has just, well, it's officially outgrown it.
This table just lays it all out, doesn't it? I mean, when you have over 30 different features for every single customer, you just can't manually figure out what's driving the change. It's impossible. Your traditional regression models in Excel, they fail because these effects aren't linear. A change in risk doesn't have a simple, straight-line impact on revenue. And maybe the biggest one of all, revenue gets booked when the cash actually shows up, not on some smooth, predictable schedule. Spreadsheets just weren't built for this level of chaos.
So if the old tools are broken, what's the fix? Well, this is where a really powerful combination of two AI technologies steps into the ring, designed specifically to tackle this exact kind of problem.
First up is a model called XGBoost. The easiest way to think of it is as the predictor. It's incredibly powerful at sifting through all those messy, nonlinear data points we just saw and learning the complex patterns to make a highly accurate prediction of what the revenue should be.
But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. XGBoost, like a lot of powerful AI models, can be a black box. It gives you the right answer, the correct revenue number, but it can't tell you how it got there. It tells you what happened, but it doesn't tell you why. And for a finance team, the why is, well, it's everything.
And this is where our second tool, SHAP, becomes the hero of the story. SHAP is the explainer. It's this groundbreaking technique that basically cracks open that black box. Think of it like a sports analyst breaking down a final score, telling you exactly how many points each player contributed to the win or the loss. It tells us precisely how much each individual factor pushed that final number up or down. So, how do the predictor and the explainer actually work together? Let's just walk through the process that turns all that raw data into a clear, compelling story. The process is actually very logical. First, you just structure all that messy customer and payment data into a clean month-by-month format. Second, you let XGBoost do its thing. You train it to predict revenue based on all that data. And finally, you unleash SHAP on the model's predictions to get that clear, feature-by-feature breakdown.
And the result of that process is the moment we've been building towards, a direct, data-backed answer to that impossible question we started with.
So, imagine you're the CFO. This is the number that lands on your desk. Lease revenue is down $2.5 million. The very next question is obvious. Why? Before, that would trigger days, maybe weeks of frantic spreadsheet analysis. But now, you get this, a perfect quantified breakdown. SHAP shows us exactly what happened. While new leases brought in $1.4 million, that was more than wiped out by $1.9 million from early terminations and another $1.1 million from customers just paying down their balances. Every single major driver is isolated and measured.
And you see, this isn't just a data dump. This is a narrative. It's a clear, auditable, and defensible story that aligns exactly with how finance leaders think about variance analysis. It's the answer they've always wanted, but could never get.
This technology is about so much more than just one report. It really points to a fundamental shift in how financial analysis is going to be done in the future.
The benefits here are just huge. This whole approach, it speaks the language of finance, it can scale effortlessly to handle hundreds of variables, and it provides a level of confidence and transparency that builds trust. But maybe most importantly, it frees up brilliant finance teams from the drudgery of data crunching so they can focus on what really matters: strategy.
And that leads to the most important takeaway of all. This isn't about robots taking over finance jobs. Not at all. Explainable AI is a tool that doesn't replace human expertise, it augments it, it magnifies it. It takes the best of what machines can do, finding patterns in massive data sets, and combines it with the strategic judgment of experienced professionals. So that leaves us with a final thought. We've seen how this works for lease revenue, but the potential is so much bigger. What's the complex, messy, why question in your world that you've always wished you had a clear, data-driven answer for?